Situated, guys. Well, let me back that up a little bit. Where's my little tree? There we go. Anyway, guys, I was going to go live earlier, but I had some weird allergic reaction, so I was like, you know what? I'm still going to do it. Nobody's going to watch. It's late. It's a terrible time to go live, but we're going to do it anyway. Hello, James. Yeah, so I want to show you guys something crazy tonight. I'll try to make it quick, okay? Again, I wanted to go live earlier, but I got very sick. I had some crazy allergic reaction. I had like 200 red whelps all over me. Tried to go to the ER, but I decided not to. I don't know, right after I made that Hubble telescope video earlier, I don't know what happened. I had some insane allergic reaction. So anyway, we're very late tonight, and nobody's going to be watching, but that's okay. That's okay. It'll post tomorrow. So check this out, guys. This interview is incredible. I don't know why I've never heard it. I don't know how I missed it from about, 2 months ago. Okay, posted, what does it say? August 17th, 2020, actually. Yes, Benadryl. I didn't have any. I know. That's what my family told me to take, but I'm stubborn. And I was like, oh, it'll go away. Anyway, it was freaking horrible. It was terrible. But let me get into this real quick, guys. Now, look, this interview is about 30 minutes long. This is the pilot, okay, that recorded the famous TicTac sighting, right? And I've never heard this, and he reveals a lot of information in here that I've never heard about. He also talks about, or he addresses the debunkers, how they say, no, the plane or the jet was turning, not the craft, and it couldn't have traveled at, that type of speed. I mean, he gets into all of that, so let me hit play here. Like I said, I don't think anyone's going to even be watching tonight. It's so late, but I really wanted to get this out. So we'll get into it. Okay, wait a minute. Where is it? Right here.
From there. It wasn't for a lack of effort. I was trying to reacquire the thing, but that was it.
You were the pilot, and you were telling me that the debunkers are wrong.
Yes. The debunkers, in my experience with it, they're going to challenge every bit of evidence that you bring back. But by that point, I've had a whole bunch of combat missions. I've seen a lot of shit.
Again, this is the pilot that actually filmed the TicTac craft, and I've always wanted to hear from the actual pilot, and the shit that he gets into is incredible. Things that I've never heard about, things that you've probably never heard about, and I didn't even know this interview existed. So we'll continue, and you guys tell me if you can hear that.
Shot at, I've dropped bombs, shot missiles at enemy targets. I know what shit looks like in the air and on the ground at daytime, nighttime. This was happening in the mid-afternoon on a very benign, peacetime kind of day.
Okay, you heard what he said. It took place in the mid-afternoon, okay? Mid-afternoon, during peacetime. And he goes on to say it was an act of war. What the craft did was, beyond anything that we have, any technology that we have. He gets into all of that. He explains why the video appears to be like zooming in and out, why it rotated. I mean, he gets into all of that stuff, and I've never heard this interview.
There's no...
And by the way, shout out to Jeremy Cornell. I've talked to him on Twitter a few times, so don't copyright me, Jeremy. I'm trying to help you out here.
Question that it was something conventional, either from a commercial standpoint or a military standpoint, that should have been a piece of cake. And the fact that
yes, I've seen that, Joe Rogan.
Something I've never seen before, and exhibited no conventional flight characteristics that physics allows us at this point. I've ruled out everything that it could possibly be, and I'm left with, I have no fucking idea what this thing was.
You heard what he said. I've ruled out every possibility. I have no idea what it was. And they even get into the whole black projects military thing. He said, no, it couldn't have been, some kind of black budget military, because I would have been debriefed. They would have told me, keep your mouth shut. Don't talk to anybody. He would have had to sign a non-disclosure form, right? If he actually filmed, some type of secret American military craft, they would have made him, you know, they would have kept him quiet, but they didn't.
It wasn't any sort of special project because I got it on video. If it was some sort of
Listen to
black
this.
project, black meaning some sort of unacknowledged U.S. program, I would have been debriefed on it because I brought that video and I could have gone public with it and I could have gotten myself and the military in a big old pickle. If you start to see black projects, and it's happened to me before, where I've seen something that I shouldn't have, and I've gotten debriefed saying, hey, this is a secret, unacknowledged program that you witnessed or you got video of. You talk to a person from some three-letter agency, you sign an NDA, and you'll never speak of this again. That never happened.
He said that never
If it was
happened.
some sort of black U.S. project, I would have been told not what it is, or what it's capable of, or whatever the project name is.
You have stumbled upon things that are black projects, and there's protocol for that. They certainly won't be releasing these videos.
Right there, he said there's a protocol for any type of black budget project, you know, and he wasn't, you know, told to be quiet or sign a non-disclosure form, none of that, which is really weird because, you know, I would think they would try to silence him regardless, but they didn't. But again, this was back in 2004, right? I mean, we're talking, what? Well, the original sighting. There was multiple sightings.
Via the Pentagon, if this was.
Yeah, exactly.
That shines a light on how this was handled or not handled. Appreciate the perspective.
I think we're kind of in the right place at the right time for this stuff to be talked
Totally
about,
crazy.
especially confirmed and, you know, having the Pentagon release assessments that these things are valid. And the pilots that are out there, whether it be commercial pilots or military pilots, especially when we have the technology to bring back video and eyewitness accounts from guys that are flying fighters whose brains work on a very finely tuned level, when we bring this back to the carrier as a story, it's worth listening to. They've been confirmed as unidentified, or whatever the new term is, UAPs or whatever.
And right there, he's talking about how the military has classified them as unidentified, or UAP, unidentified aerial phenomenon, whatever the hell the new term is. I don't know, I don't care. I call them what they are, UFOs, right? Let's call them what they are.
It's not like we go out there looking for this shit, but when you find something, it gets your attention.
Yeah, you stumble across it.
People always ask, like, what do you think it was? I'm like, dude, I have no idea. I was in the right place at the right time. I got the video, I brought it back, and here we are.
Thank you so much.
Okay, let me go back a little bit.
The work that you do and the stories. It's off to the left, and you see the two bars that were on either side of the TicTac. You'll see them try to like reacquire. When you see those,
Let me go right here. It gets very interesting.
so I'm not dropping its track. The track is there the entire time.
Right here, he's talking about how he tracked it. We can play that later. Hello, Justin. We can play that later, but I want to play you guys this other part. It's around the 13-minute mark, so let me find it.
On whatever it is that you've got acquired.
The TicTac shot off to your left.
Here we go.
Yeah, with instantaneous acceleration.
Instantaneous acceleration. Now, keep in mind, this is the fighter, because I'm tired of all the debunkers saying, "Oh, it was a bird, a fucking bird," okay, or you know, a camera anomaly. This is advanced military technology worth millions of dollars on billion-dollar fighter jets coming off billion-dollar carriers with highly trained pilots telling you, no, we don't have anything like that. It's some type of advanced technology. I didn't make a mistake, but you still have people out there that claim it was a bird.
If it were just a kind of veer off to the left, the FLIR would be able to track that with no problem. But it shot off at an instant acceleration that the FLIR just is not engineered to
At an instant acceleration. Think about that.
be able to hack, I guess.
So what kind of aggressive forces does it take to drop track?
Anything greater than about 40 to 45 degrees angle of bank and greater than 3 to 5 G's rate of heading change, you know? We're straight and level.
The TicTac UFO shot off to the left from a standstill with instantaneous motion. Explain that.
Yeah, listen to this, guys.
When I say from a standstill, the TicTac, it's not like it's sitting there in a hover. It's in motion. it's moving in some sort of velocity and a vector to go from whatever its airspeed was at the time.
If you're just now joining,
by any
this is the
physical
pilot.
thing, it's something I can't describe from a physics-based perspective. I can't.
That recorded the TicTac.
Just instantaneously accelerate like that. And like what Dave said, even an SR-71, it's a Mach 3 plus aircraft.
Hello, alien girl.
Go from 250 knots to 2,000 knots instantaneously. That's not how normal propulsion systems that we know, conventional propulsion systems that we know, are capable of. That's the part that blew me away, both in real time and after the fact. I was
yes.
like, what just happened?
What's up, Beeb?
It just, bam, just went away. You know, just zipped off. Instantaneous acceleration that would crush a pilot, and just from a structural engineering standpoint, it would just rip wings right off the aircraft.
This is
What I clearly hear you saying is the object is not.
This is the guy that filmed it right here. So, okay, Lieutenant Commander Chad Underwood. He was the man that filmed all of these videos that you guys watch. Yes, the other pilot, correct. Not Fravor. You know, so this guy, you know, witnessed it with his own two eyes.
An illusion of a 2x zoom. I didn't manually pull off the track of the weapon systems. Did the TicTac UFO shot to your left with instantaneous inertia, instantaneous acceleration?
Yes.
That's profound.
Yeah. That's the part that I took away from the whole experience, was that moment where it just zipped off. That was my kind of weirded out moment. I was trying to find it and reacquire and asking the French, I'm like, hey, where'd that thing go? And there was like, you know, negative radar contact, which means their radar scope's clean as well. My radar's got a certain scan volume, and my FLIR for that matter. Once it flies out of that field of view, let's just call it plus or minus 70 degrees of my nose, then I'm going to have to maneuver the aircraft towards the direction that that thing went and try to reacquire it on my sensors, because I don't have 360 degrees worth of radar scan in my aircraft. The Princeton does, but it can look in all.
Hello, Andrea.
Figure out where things are, and it can give me a vector, say, hey, just back behind you, so that way I could turn around and get all my sensors back in that sector. I saw it shoot off to the left, and then I started to maneuver the aircraft to the left and tried to reacquire it. There was nothing there. It wasn't for a lack of effort. I was trying to reacquire the thing, but that was it.
He's talking about when you see the video and you see the little bars on the left and the right, he's trying to zoom in and zoom out. Okay, basically. Good evening, Larry. And you know, he also gets into detail about the debunkers, you know, saying that how it rotated and it was actually a craft banking to the right. I mean, this guy is a highly trained professional with everything to lose, by the way. Keep that in mind. I mean, he's not gaining anything by telling you this. So let me go back a little bit here. It's a great interview. Again, Jeremy Corbell. I talked to him on Twitter a few weeks ago, but hopefully he doesn't hit me with a copyright, Jeremy. Right? Let's go back a little bit. It is transformative content. Damn it.
Underwood's testimony represents the first time in history a military wizzo filmed a UFO during active operations.
Can you guys hear that?
Encounter footage has been confirmed directly by the United States government as being actual film footage of an advanced aerospace vehicle of unknown origin.
All right.
A real UFO, the wings, active
Let me go forward.
by the United States Department of Defense, and typically there are consequences. However, nothing about...
And he does, when we're talking about Chad Underwood, the guy that filmed it, he said it wasn't an act of war, you know, and all he wanted to do was get it on video, get it back to his superiors so they could tell him what to do next. You know, he wasn't worried about anything else but getting as much intel and information as possible, is what he gets into here in a minute.
Lieutenant Commander Underwood's and Commander Fravor's experiences were typical. What you're about to hear is important. It has historic value.
Historic value.
Of advanced and unknown aerospace vehicles operating in our restricted airspace with impunity, displaying instantaneous acceleration.
That is crazy when you think about it, how this advanced technology operates in our airspace with impunity, right? I mean, could you imagine a fighter jet coming from China or Russia? They wouldn't get away with it. You know, so, and I think it's crazy that when people look at this, they're like, meh, whatever, you know, what's on Netflix? Like, I really don't care. Like, there's something flying around in our skies off the coast of California and you don't care? It's kind of weird to me. It's weird.
And impossible speeds. Technology we simply do not have. If this is not a national security issue, I don't know what is. Certainly, this is an existential conundrum, and it's time we face the UFO reality head on.
I agree.
Whatever it might represent.
Totally
So
agree.
let's hear what Lieutenant Commander Underwood has to say about it. After all, he is the person that filmed it.
And again, I didn't even know this existed, so it was...
What's your name and what was your title and role in 2004?
My name is Chad Underwood. My call sign is Nuts. I was on USS Nimitz in November of 2004. I was with the Black Aces of BFA 41 serving under Dave Sex Fraver. I filmed the TicTac Clear video.
So there you go. He was serving under Fravor, right? You guys are familiar with Fravor, and he was the man that filmed it.
We're talking peacetime operations off the coast of San Diego. We're not talking in the Black Sea against Russia or the Baltics or anything like that. Dave's just landed from his flight. He's taking his gear off. I'm putting my gear on. He's like, hey, man, we saw something out there, and I want you to go and investigate it. Put your tapes on. Dave did not have a clear pod on his aircraft, and he knew that I did. We were going to go operate in the same piece of sky that they just came from. Go launch on the mission, go out to do some intercepts, hone our skills. And then when we got up there, you kind of do your checks, making sure that all your squawks all accurate, and you're going to report to this cap location, and this is where you're going to conduct your portion of the exercise. And that's when we got a vector from the Princeton saying, hey, investigate target on this bearing and range. Lo and behold, you get a blip on the radar. Once I got the clear lock, that's not an aircraft.
The debunkers, one of the things they're saying.
Listen to this right here.
It's just another plane.
Aircraft has very, very specific infrared signatures that show up on your clear pod. You cannot mistake it. Whether it's a 737, another F-18, or an enemy aircraft, there are key features that on that infrared pod that identify it as an aircraft. At this point, I'm ruling out what I know it's not. I'm looking at it with essentially a $6 million camera.
Okay, you heard that.
Camera. This is not conventional aircraft of a U.S. military. It's not.
They're using a $6 million camera, okay? Mistakes are not made. Mistakes are made with iPhones, okay? With Androids. Not a frickin' $6 million camera on a multi-million-dollar, $500 million aircraft that just came off of $1 billion aircraft carrier. It's the most advanced weapons technology known to mankind. You know, so... Anyway, I just had to add that, you know, because I just, you know what I'm tired of? I'm tired of all the uneducated people out there that don't bother to take 10 minutes to do their own research to figure out what is going on. They just, oh, it was a bird. It was a plane. It was a kite. I've heard people literally tell me it was a kite.
It's not a civilian airliner. It's certainly not a bird. It's not a helicopter. I've pretty much seen anything that's either on the surface or in the air. I've seen enough to know what things are and what things aren't.
Yeah.
I'm close enough to the object that I should be able to even tell whether it's a military aircraft versus a civilian aircraft. I should be able to tell that by the features that you would normally and typically see. There should be no doubt. Any aircraft of any, able to see a tail, you should be able to see wings, you should see the exhaust wing. Those should be.
Okay, you heard that, right? I mean, common sense, right? You should be able to see a tail, exhaust, you know, the heat signature, wings, you know, some type of identifying characteristic as to what you're looking at. And they did not.
Very, very obvious on a clear pod. The infrared portion of that is just looking for heat contrast between a target and its background. I was not seeing any of those features. The biggest giveaway is the exhaust wing, because that's just nothing but heat.
Right.
And so once I saw it on the clear pod, I was like, okay, this is not a conventional aircraft.
At the range you were from the TicTac UFO vehicle, you should have been able to see rotors, tail, wings, plumes, and exhaust.
Exactly.
You're not seeing that.
None of it.
The TicTac UFO had none of that.
That's correct.
It'll continue. Crazy, right? I mean, I didn't even know this interview existed. I gotta find something real quick, guys. Hang on. Let me read the live chat, not to mention MIB came to collect. Yes, you heard about the helicopter landing, and I think it was according to the radar technician, correct? That they retrieved the data, basically. And my thing is, where is the rest of the footage? You know? Where is the rest of the footage? What the hell are we looking at here? I'm trying to find something, guys. That's what I want to know. History, right here. Okay, where are you? Where are you? I'm going to read your comments in a minute, everyone. But yes, I don't know. You probably didn't hear me earlier. I had a bad allergic reaction earlier. And I was going to go live. Hey, let me put in Jeremy Corbell. But I had red whelps all over my body. And I was not feeling good. Not feeling good at all. So I decided to, it's a little bit late. I know there won't be too many people joining us tonight. But that's okay. Hang on. Jere. Let me find something real quick. How do you spell Corbell? C-O-R-B-E-L-L? C-O-R. Here we go. I just want to show you guys where I got this. And you guys go sub to Jeremy. He does great work. I don't know why people hate on Jeremy Corbell so much. I think he does amazing work. But he has a lot of haters out there. You know what I think it is? Anytime anyone gains any type of popularity, they have haters for whatever reason. It's weird. It's like this weird human mentality, you know? I don't get it, guys. But look at all these great videos on his channel. You guys got to go check out his channel, okay? I mean, I've watched about 4 of them today. You know, unseen Bob Lazar footage. Bob Lazar is everywhere. Skinwalker Ranch, Area 51. You know, he's working on new projects that I'm really excited about. And a lot of it is, you know, with the Department of Defense and the Pentagon, all this crap going on right here. What's up with the UFOs and aliens? This is the Galactic Federation. He interviews the journalist from Israel, okay, that kind of broke the story to the world. I mean, just some amazing videos on here. I was kind of shocked, to be honest. I was like, wow, that's a lot of good stuff. But let me get back to that one, Storm Area 51. That Storm Area 51 thing was so crazy. And didn't, like, I don't know, 10 people show up? Where the hell is it? Hang on, Jeremy Corbell. Skinwalker Ranch, deleted scenes, Area 51, TicTac exclusive. Where is that video? I know it's on here. Oh, here we go. Here we go. We'll get back to it. I just wanted to show you guys his channel. It's a very good channel, and I highly recommend you guys check it out.
There's no distinguishing feature that says this is an aircraft. I have no idea what this thing is.
This TicTac UFO, why is this different than anything you've seen before?
When you take a radar lock on something, I'm going to see your airspeed, I'm going to see your altitude, I'm going to see your heading, I'm going to see your aspect. I'm going to see all of that on my radar.
Right.
Every bit of information that radar can possibly...
I mean, I hope you guys are paying attention. This is very...
And I'm going to have all that situational awareness right there in front of me. And it's happening real time. There's no latency, there's no delays in scanning or anything like that. What was different about this was, as soon as I took that lock, the track started doing all sorts of just little things that are not normal. The heading was erratic. It should be able to tell me your airspeed and also your Mach number. So it should say like 0.8 Mach, for example.
Did you guys hear that?
80% the speed of sound. It should say that. It was jumping all over the place. It was like 0.8, 0.4, 0.2, 0.1, 0.9.
Yes, Ghost, they do hide the truth.
Like my radar can't hack it. And in all instances, it should be able to hack that. And then I was also receiving what they're called strobe lines. And they just basically look like lines on your radar that are indications that you're being jammed. So that TicTac jamming us would be considered an act of war.
An act of war.
I'm going to go shoot down an aircraft because it's jamming me, but I'm going to report back to my boss that it's jamming me, and I've got proof of it, and that'll make its way to the Pentagon.
It has consequences.
It was offensively jamming us just outside international waters in peacetime operations. It's an act of war, and we're going to go out there and make you pay for that. It does have consequences. However, that plays itself out, and that's where I was like, okay, this is something different. I was like, okay, I've got a clear one.
He's talking about the craft, how it was jamming their radar, and under any other conditions, that would be an act of war. Okay, and that's what he got into right there.
FLIR is just giving me optical and infrared information. They can't optically jam me, so I went to the FLIR pod, and that's where I started focusing 90% of my effort. Mainly, I'm just trying to get all this shit on tape, bring back as much video evidence to our intelligence folks. Say, well, why did you go to narrow field of view? Why did you go to super narrow? Why didn't you go to why did you go to TV mode versus I didn't want any of those questions to be asked to me when I went to the intelligence center. So I started zooming in. That's where you see on the FLIR video, like changing polarity. All of a sudden you see the whole screen go like all white, and then the TicTac is black. I reverse the polarity, so the background is black and TicTac is white. I'm zooming in. That's why I'm going through all those different modes, is to just try to bring back as much video evidence to our intelligence folks. I wanted to bring every single mode and zoom that the FLIR is capable of back to the carrier so we could analyze this thing, because I'm not going to be able to solve this problem in real time.
That's very smart, actually.
When you're filming, it only appears to move left, but in fact, it was you banking your craft.
Aircraft was straight and level at that point.
Okay, listen to this question. The debunkers say, that the craft was moving, it was banking and all of that. So he goes into detail how that's literally impossible.
If you look at the FLIR pod, there's no change in heading. I'm maneuvering the aircraft in a manner in which, in those circumstances, would cause the FLIR to drop track. That did not happen. I was at a very benign heading, airspeed, altitude, and bank angle that the FLIR will not drop that track. When the aircraft zips off to the left and you see the two bars that were...
The two bars right there.
You'll see them try to reacquire. When you see those two bars kind of widen...
That one and that one.
Trying to open up its eyes wider to find you again and then get back to an auto track. By that point, the TicTac is already way off to the left side of my scope and basically it's gone.
They also say that there was a 2-time zoom right at that moment.
Right here.
TicTac UFO appears to shoot off to the left, so it's an exaggerated speed. Did you lose track on it? What makes it go left?
When you go from 1 to 2x or something like that, 1 to 2 times zoom, you're not dropping the track and trying to reacquire it in 2 times zoom. At no point will it drop track. Think about it like you're looking at your iPhone from 12 inches away, and all of a sudden you just put it in 6 inches away from your face.
That's a good analogy, actually.
You're not dropping that lock. All you're doing is basically just trying to get a closer look at it. I go through all the zoom features, and I'm not dropping its track. The track is there the entire time. It broke.
Okay, you guys heard that, right? He's talking about how they track the craft, and just to debunk the debunkers, he's explaining how this multi-million-dollar technology operates, okay? But I guess people on Twitter know better than him.
Broke my lock by zooming off to the left.
So you're telling me the TicTac UFO shot off to the left. The targeting pod lost track because it moved.
Yeah, the FLIR pod is a weapon system, so it's made and designed and engineered for aggressive maneuvering and still be able to maintain stability on whatever it is that you've got acquired.
The TicTac shot off to your left.
Yeah, with instantaneous acceleration.
Right
If
there.
it were just to kind of
You see that, guys?
to the left, the FLIR would be able to track that with no problem.
So where it shoots
But
off to the
it
left,
shot
right
off
there.
At an instant acceleration
Right here.
that the FLIR just is not engineered to be able to hack, I guess.
So what kind of aggressive forces does it take to drop track?
Anything greater than about 40 to 45 degrees angle of bank and greater than 3 to 5 G's rate of heading change, we're straight and level.
The TicTac UFO shot off to the left from a standstill with instantaneous motion. Explain that.
I can't. When I say from a standstill, the TicTac, it's not like it's sitting there in a hover. It's in motion. It's moving in some sort of velocity and a vector to go from whatever its airspeed was at the time to something that's just impossible by any physical standard. It's something I can't describe from a physics-based perspective. I can't do it. Things don't just instantaneously accelerate like that. And like what Dave said, even an SR-7.
Okay, you heard that. You know, he said that they can't accelerate like that. It is impossible. You know, it's funny because all of the big tech companies, the government, they say, you know, trust the experts, you know, trust the professionals. But here you have one of the most highly trained, you know, technicians, okay, in the world, Lieutenant Commander Chad Underwood, you know, weapons systems officer, okay? But we're not supposed to believe him. It's crazy to me. Anyway, let me read a few of these comments real quick right there. About to read a few of these. I haven't even looked at the comments tonight, so I have no idea who's here. So hello, James. How are you? UK Lad 2020, how are you? Daniel, hello. Alien Girl 1111. You guys go sub to her channel. UK Lad again. Alien Girl. Beeb. Ghost, hi. James, hi. Andrea, hello. Larry, hello. I said James already. James, I think. Anyway, hello to everyone. Hello to, I know it's kind of late, but Ghost Boy, how are you? Bruce, how you doing? Harry, how you doing? Is that Comlet? K-O-M, 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 Comlet? Anyway, we'll get back to it.
It's a Mach 3 plus aircraft. Doesn't just go from 250
Hello, Comlet.
knots to 2,000 knots instantaneously. That's not how.
Everyone say hello to Comlet.
Systems that we know, conventional propulsion systems. That
Almost died earlier.
Are capable of. That's the part that blew me away.
I'm dedicated.
Both in real time and after the fact, I was like, "What just happened?" It just, bam, just went away. You know, just.
I mean, what do you guys make of this? Okay, tell me in the chat. What do you make of this? Is he full of shit? Right? Is he crazy? Is he looking for attention? Is he selling a book? You know, what does he get out of this, right?
Zipped off. Instantaneous acceleration.
You said you're working on a video. I didn't know you had a channel. I'll check it out.
That would crush a pilot, and just from a structural engineering standpoint.
Of course, they're getting into the laws of physics, how it would crush a pilot. Of course it would. That inertia, that's such a nerdy word. Inertia.
Standpoint, it would just rip wings right off the aircraft. If it indeed had
it. It did not have wings.
What you're saying is the object is not an illusion of a 3x zoom. I didn't manually pull off the track of the weapon systems. That the TicTac UFO shot to your left with instantaneous inertia, instantaneous acceleration.
Yes.
That's profound.
Yeah. That's the part that I took away from the whole experience, was that moment where it just zipped off. That was my kind of weirded out moment. I was trying to find it and reacquire and asking the French, I'm like, hey, where'd that thing go? And there was like, you know, negative radar contact, which means their radar scope's clean as well. My radar's got a certain scan volume, and my FLIR for that matter. Once it flies out of that field of view, let's just call it plus or minus 70 degrees of my nose, that I'm going to have to maneuver the aircraft towards the direction that that thing went and try to reacquire it on my sensors, because I don't have 360 degrees worth of radar.
I mean, you guys hear how professional he sounds. I mean, he's talking way above my head. Ray, you say it's a hoax. You are correct. I don't know. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. If it was a hoax, I mean, think about how many people would have to be involved, right? I mean, it could be. Who knows? I mean, look, I say question everything, okay? I always tell you guys, I'm a debunker first, a UFO guy second. I question everything. I don't just believe anything, but what I want to see is I want to see more video. Why don't we have more frickin' video?
Scan in my aircraft, the Princeton does, but it can look in all directions and figure out where things are, and it can give me a vector, say, hey, just back behind you, so that way I could turn around and get all my sensors back in that sector. I saw it shoot off to the left, and then I started to maneuver the aircraft to the left to try to reacquire it. There was nothing there. It wasn't for a lack of effort. I was trying to reacquire the thing, but that was it.
You were the pilot, and you were telling me that the debunkers are
evidence that you bring back, but by that point I've had a whole bunch of combat missions. I've seen a lot of shit.
That's a very good point. You said there was a fleet, but you have to remember there were several, different cases or sightings. Okay, I think the three that we've seen, the what is it, the Thimble, Nimble, whatever, the TicTac, and the Go Fast. Okay, so there was like 3 videos that the Navy released, but on radar, the radar specialist said there was a whole fleet, and they went from the coast of California all the way up to on the coastline to Mexico, right? If you guys go watch that video, and that's a pretty long way. I live on the Gulf of Mexico, so I'm very familiar with that area. Hello, Don. Of course, he's legit, just as our astronauts were, like he observed, as we should. Yes, I agree. Thank you.
Shot at, I've dropped bombs, shot missiles at enemy targets. I know what shit looks like in the air.
You heard what he said. I know what shit looks like in the air. I've dropped bombs. I've shot missiles. It's what I do. Like a chef knows what an onion looks like, okay? Right? A carpenter knows what a hammer looks like. A frickin' fighter pilot knows what, a civilian craft or a bird would look like. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
And on the ground at daytime, nighttime. This was happening in the mid-afternoon on a very benign peacetime kind of day.
Mid-afternoon, that's very important, off the coast of California, again, in case you guys don't know. Peacetime, I think they were training, I believe.
There's no question that it was something conventional, either from a commercial standpoint or a military standpoint. That should have been a piece of cake. And the fact that it wasn't, and it was just something I've never seen before, and exhibited no conventional flight characteristics that physics allows us at this point, I've ruled out everything that it could possibly be, and I'm left with, I have no fucking idea what this thing was.
No idea.
It wasn't any sort of special project, because I got it on video. If it was some sort of black,
listen to this part, guys.
Black being some sort of unacknowledged U.S. program, I would have been debriefed on it, because I brought that video and I could have gone public with it, and I could have gotten myself and the military in a big old pickle. If you start to see black projects, and it's happened to me before, where I've seen something that I shouldn't have, and I've gotten debriefed saying, hey, this is a secret, unacknowledged program that you witnessed or you got video of. You talk to a person from some 3-letter agency, you sign an NDA.
Okay, he goes into detail saying if it was a black budget military, secret project, I would have been debriefed. I wouldn't have been allowed to release the video. I wouldn't be allowed to talk about it. I would be court-martialed. I would be thrown in jail, right? But it wasn't, so they can't. But my question is, like someone said earlier, it could be a hoax. Why didn't they put a lid on him anyway? Even if it wasn't a black budget military thing, like why didn't they tell him to be quiet, regardless? I guess why? Well, I think I know why, because they can no longer hide it, and they knew it was going to be leaked. And actually, let me back up. Wow, I'm forgetting my own history here. It was leaked, okay? Fravor said that somebody put it on like a blog back in the day. We're talking 2004, 2005. Fravor said somebody uploaded the video on a blog. So it was on the internet 15 to 17 years ago, okay? So I think they knew that, and they knew that there's been a rise in curiosity in the UFO community in the world, and they couldn't stop it, right? It had too much momentum. They had to release it. That's why I think they didn't stop it, and they basically, let him be the, sacrificial lamb and release it, because it wasn't really officially released by the Navy, I don't believe. Now, I know they made comments on it, but as far as who actually released it, I believe it was Chad Underwood.
And you'll never speak of this again. That never happened. And if it was some sort of black U.S. project, I would have been told not what it is or what it's capable of or whatever the project name is.
You have stumbled upon things that are black projects, and there's protocol for that. They certainly won't be releasing these videos via the Pentagon if this was.
Yeah, exactly.
That shines a light on how this was handled or not handled. Appreciate the perspective.
I think we're kind of in the right place at the right time for this stuff to be talked about, especially confirmed and having the Pentagon release.
Right there, right place, right time.
These things are valid, and the pilots that are out there with.
It is the right place and the right time. Why? Because they can't continue the lie. Okay, now isn't that kind of shameful when you think about it? Why are they this 180-day countdown, the Galactic Federation? Why are they talking about it now? Well, because they can no longer lie to you. It's kind of like, when you cheat on your boyfriend, your girlfriend, you're going to get busted. You might as well fess up, okay? They're fessing up. Is Corbell, not Cornell. I said Corbell. Okay, anyway, shout out MG Galamalamic. James, shout out to you, Harry. Again, Comlick, James, Don, how you doing? Thank you for joining. Anyway, guys, my phone is at like 10%, so I'm going to have to get off here. So you guys have a wonderful night. Hello, Joey. Humans do not have technology that can fly aircraft without... Yes, but anyway, look, guys, go check out Jeremy's channel right here. Hey, let me back that up a little bit and I'll show you guys. It is a very good channel full of awesome content. I highly recommend you go to his channel. And no, I'm not working for him. I'm not endorsing him. I haven't talked to him, but I'm telling you, I don't ever mislead you guys. Go check out the channel. All right, guys. Happy New Year. Have a good night.